Hello, this is a presentation on how to create a Keynote presentation using the Keynote app on iPad. So I'm going to show you how to go about this. The first thing we'll do is go to the Keynote app, which I have open in this folder here. So we can go to the app. Now in order to create a presentation, all we have to do is click on, my apologies there, is click on the plus button in the top corner here. So we'll click on the plus button in order to create a new presentation. And then we can come down here and just select Create Presentation. So now here's where we have a lot of options. We can go with some different styles that are around. So we can choose just a white style in order to start it off. And take a look here. So it has pretty straightforward instructions from the start. You can double tap to edit text, and your keyboard will pop up, and you can edit text. Let's say you're talking about, we'll just put education as the title. And if you press the keyboard button down here, that's how you get rid of the keyboard if you're done typing. So if you just click on that, then that will go away. So the features are very simple to use. On the top, we have a paintbrush. This paintbrush will be able to make edits to an image or text that you have. The next is the plus button, and this is how you add media, tables, charts, or shapes. So this is just to show you what happens when you click on them. Media can go to your camera roll and photo stream. Next, tablets, or tables, sorry. You can add different types of tables into your presentation. Charts, you can add different 2D and 3D charts. And of course, shapes, you have different shapes here, and there's quite a few different colors. If you just swipe to the sides, you can get the different colors of shapes, but they're all the same from one page to the next. A variety of shapes to add to your presentation. So then the next is the wrench here, and that's gives you some options. So you can do some transitions and builds. That's how you change from one slide to the next. That's how it's going to look. Share and print. Find specific text within the presentation. Show presenters notes. So you can write notes, and if you're presenting onto another device, then you'll see the notes on your iPad while the presentation is showed on the actual display. We'll go into advanced to look at a couple features here. You can turn on slide numbers. You can turn on guides. What the guides does is it makes it so that things will snap into place. And you'll see when I'm moving objects around what that means in terms of things snapping into place. Next, you've got interactive hyperlinks, and you can link to anything just by clicking the object. Now that I've clicked hyperactive link, I could type on education, and then I can say link to a slide, link to next slide, link to the first slide, etc. Or on the bottom, you notice there's the slide URL or mail. So I can link it to a URL, and I can actually link this slide to a specific URL. So if I click in here, I can put in the URL ambrose.edu, and what that means is that this actual box will become a link to a URL. Again, there's of course mail, and you can make it so that when someone clicks on that link, it's going to make an email to yourself. So you just put in your own email there. So that's how that works. You can press done. So again, we're back up here into the wrench, the settings, and advanced. So that was hyperlinks. The next is presentation type and remote. So presentation type, you can loop it. So if you're showing a bunch of pictures that you want to go over and over again, you can put it on loop. Normal, hyperlinks only, self-playing. So those aren't too big of an option. Usually if you're showing a presentation, you're going to be doing a normal presentation. So we can go back, and the remote, if you have an iPhone, you can change the slides from your iPhone. So you can actually have your iPad sitting on a desk similar to a computer, and then just use the iPhone to switch between slides. So those are the features up top. So now I'll just show you how they work. So if we go up to go down to the bottom here where the plus is, we can add a new slide, and I'll just highlight that so you can see what I mean. Here's the plus down here, so we can just go plus, and that will give us a slide to choose from. So we can choose slides with text, pictures, blank, titles. So we can just choose this one here, and now we have an area to work with. So again, as it says, it already says double tap to edit, and that's how you add text. So you can edit. You can also paste here. If you press for a little bit longer, then you've got the paste and insert button. So paste would paste something that you've already copied to your clipboard. So if you're in Safari, and I'll show an example of that right now. So if I go to Safari on the bottom here, so I can actually select text in this document and copy it. Then I could go back to Keynote, and I could paste that text by holding until a magnifying glass shows up, and when I let go, I have the paste and insert. So if I paste, it'll paste the text that I just grabbed from the website. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shake the iPad, and when I shake it, I have an undo or cancel, so I can undo that text. So I'll just double tap here where we'd have a paragraph, and you may have some text, and this is actually where you'd want to insert here you can actually move things back and forth if you just hold on it, and you can drag it around. Now I'm going to make those so they are no longer tabs, and that's up in the corner here. So if we're on text and we choose this paintbrush, well, we can change the style. So right now the style is bullets. So let's just say we have a body, so we're going to choose body right here. And now when we go back to our text, we type and then we enter, and then we type some more. Now what happens is when we'd like to tab this in, we can let go, and we can insert a tab, and that will move it over. I'll just show that to you again. So if I hold down the magnifying glass, insert a tab, and it's going to move it over. So it's pretty straightforward if you want to add tabs, etc. That is how you do it. And let me see what else I should explain. Animations. So also the same thing works before I go into animations with images. So if I click on this image here, I've got some options up at the top, but if I click on the paintbrush at the top, and again that's the paintbrush here, while I'm clicked on the image, I have other options. So if I'm on text, I get a certain amount of options. If I'm clicked on an image, I get a different set. So I can change where in the back to front this is. So if I've got text on top of pictures or pictures on top of text, I can decide whether I want the picture in front or the text in front. And then I can flip it vertically or horizontally. The mask, I can edit the mask, and I'll show you what that means. So editing the mask just means what the actual picture looks like inside of the frame. So I can change the size of the actual picture, or I can change the size of the frame so that I only want to see the face, and so that the pictures just the face. So now when I click off, I actually just see the picture of the face inside the frame. So it's kind of like a frame, and it's called a mask. So choosing pictures for your thing is pretty straightforward. If I just click on the button here, which is the image, that's just a placeholder So if I click that, I get some options to choose photos from my camera roll or my photo stream. All right, the next thing is animates. So animations between things. So if I click on any text or image, I get a whole bunch of options up at the top here. And if I press the animate button, it takes me to a separate screen. And it says at the top here, if you read it, tap a slide or an object to animate, to add an animation. So as you can see right here, there's the none for build in and none for build out. So if I add a build in, I can choose an option and see how that works, or just appear, or let's do the cube. So that's how it looks with the cube. That's a build in. I can then click this arrow to play it again. And that's that. You can click off. Now if I click on this image again, I can actually do an option to build out. So I might want an object to come in at one point, and then I actually want it to leave before I do another, before the next thing comes on. So I can do a build out. On most slides that we present, we may want to we usually have build-ins, but we don't usually build them out because we want them to stay there as we go along. So you'll have 8 points show up on your slide, and you don't want any of them disappearing. You want them all there at the end. So we usually don't do build-outs. But there's a lot of the same options when you do choose build-out to have them disappear. So that's that. It works the same way. If I click on a slide, I can choose to add animation to a slide, and the options are here. I can, when the slide comes in, I can do blinds or whatever it is. Again, there's options here for how long I want the transition to happen for, whether it's 1 second or do I want it to take 3 seconds for it to turn. So that's that option. Again, I'm going to do one more build here so you can see some of the options that are at the bottom that we didn't go over. So if I choose blinds for this object, so that's this one right here, I can have some options. Again, options for how long. But there's also delivery. So because this is text, I can decide to bring in all the text at once, or bring in the text by paragraph, or by paragraph group, or by highlighted paragraph. So I can just bring in one piece at a time, or bring in the whole paragraph. So if you have a whole bunch of text and you want it to show up once at a time, that's how you would adjust it right here. And then of course, here in the order, this is how you change the order in this slide. So right now I've got the image that shows up first and then the text. I can easily move this just by clicking this handlebar and moving it up. And now the text will come in and then the image. And that's that. And just to make sure I haven't missed anything, I'll take a quick look, but I think that's a fairly simple way to use Keynote to do some presentations.